everyone, and welcome back to Say It Baby, formerly known as Sex Aphrodite Education. I have a very special guest on with me today, who I can't believe is even in Bali.
I know.
She is. So, Abbie, welcome.
Hello, thank you. I'm a Bali girl now.
You are an island gal.
Island gal.
I can't believe it.
I know.
And living with me, which makes it even more intense.
Who would have even thought?
Not me.
Never.
Not
Life
me.
is crazy.
So we've got Abbie here with us today, and I have wrote a list of questions. When I say it's a list of questions, it is a heavy list.
I'm ready for it.
I'm excited. Mm-hmm. Are you prepared to share your secrets?
No, I am. I'm going to be an open book today.
Okay, we're going to dive straight in.
Yeah.
What was your first sexual experience?
I think I remember my first ever kiss was in a bush down the road of where I lived, and I was quite young.
That was everybody.
Yeah, I think that was everyone. My first time that I had sex, I was actually quite a late starter,
How old?
I was 17 when I lost my virginity.
I love that for you.
I was a late starter.
Good for you.
I know.
And how was it?
It was all right. It was a little bit awkward.
Yeah? Why?
Like, I was with the lad that I was seeing, and I don't know why, I always remember this. He just kept his top on every single time. And I was so confused. I was like, why are you keeping your top on?
And did you ask him?
No, I was scared to ask him.
Oh, okay. But do we think he was insecure?
I think, yeah, he's probably just insecure.
Yeah.
Pot belly. But I actually don't mind a bit of pot belly,
No, I love it when somebody's a little bit chunky.
Yeah, I don't like the full, the ab thing when it's too much.
No, they need to be fluffy and then they're cuddlier. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you'd say it was an awkward experience, but a good experience?
Yeah, because I think I wanted to wait, really. I don't know why, I just had this thing in my head when I was younger, I'm just going to wait until it's someone that I actually like. Because I remember being younger and being in school, and all my friends had kind of lost their virginity younger, 13, 14, and they would tell me all these really embarrassing, traumatic things that had happened, and I was like, oh, I'm scared. I remember actually everyone would always say to me, you're gonna bleed.
Yes,
and I was a bit
such a fear for everybody.
Can you remember it was popping your cherry, and everyone was like, oh, I was bleeding. I thought, oh, that's so embarrassing, I don't want that to happen.
You know the hymen, which is the cherry popping, doesn't actually break.
But I think back then, when you just everyone's
It's the pop the cherry thing, you just think I'm going to bleed everywhere.
Yeah, and I don't even think I did. So I was like, well, what was all that worry for?
And if you were going to go back, would you relive that same experience, being your experience of losing your virginity?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was bad. I think it was fine.
It was just a first time.
It's just a first time, yeah. I think you both
was
just
it
a bit awkward.
Time?
No, I don't think it was.
Right, okay. So you're glad it was him that you picked?
Yeah.
Good, I love that for you. I love that you were a bit older as well. That's don't want to say I'm shocked, but I am shocked.
Are you?
Yeah, a bit.
I know.
I think from the industry that you're in now and how they've perceived you on TV, people would be like, oh God, cause she's a bit of a woman. But really, that's such a good story to be like, no, actually.
Yeah, I waited.
So if you could share any bit of advice to other people about sex, what would it be?
I think just do it when you want to and when you're ready, and don't let other people's stories and other people, what they're saying, get in your head. Because I think that's what I did.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my God, mine was all pressure from other kids that were around me saying, oh, have you not done it yet?
Yeah.
Because I like to be the first to do anything. It's a bit of a toxic trait. So I was like, I'm going to do it before all of my friends.
Yeah.
And why I put that pressure on myself to be able to...
Yeah.
I think I did it from more of a protection, I'll try it first and then I'll let everybody know what it's like.
You can be the guinea pig.
Oh my God, I was the worst.
You were the guinea pig.
I was like, why did I pick to be the person? Because I was really young.
How old were you?
13.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, going on 14, but that's really young to...
But I think that was... I remember quite a common age, really, 13, 14.
Which is crazy, really, looking at it. When I look back and think, oh my God, I was a baby. But I thought I was such an adult then.
And you know what I always think when I look back? It's how did we even know what to do? Because I remember the sex ed, back when I was, I don't know what it was for you, but when I had sex education in school, they did it in the science way where they told you about the...
Don't
can you remember?
And die.
Yeah, well, that's what my mum used to say to me, not school. It was like, you know, the science way, and they were talking about like when it was to do with the
Sperm
plants.
meets the egg. And what?
It was
With
all
the
about the plants, yeah. Like it was really weird the way they taught us. It wasn't anything to do with sex at all.
Are you sure it was sex ed?
I wasn't even listening half the time, so God knows.
God, but sex education, now that you speak on that subject, I speak about this a lot with everybody because everyone seemed to have a different take on sex education. That some of the guests I've had on, like Dwayne, he went to a Catholic school and he was like, we didn't get taught sex education at all.
I went to a Catholic school, I got christened. It wasn't like...
Really?
Yeah, like I remember actually sitting down with my dad and my stepmom and them actually kind of telling me.
Having the discussion
and explaining to me, yeah.
And how old were you?
Oh God, I honestly think I was about 10. I was quite young.
Yeah, but that's good. That's a decent age when you're going into puberty. You need that conversation with your parents. That's really good that they did that. I love that. We're going into the nitty gritty now. Okay. What's an ick for you in the bedroom?
Oh God, loads. I've got loads of icks.
Give me a real one.
Icks in the bedroom.
Yeah. Come on. If we've got loads, you can reel them off fast.
I feel like when they're, you know, sometimes when they're trying, like, they're doing something and they think, oh yeah, I'm really good at this, I know what I'm doing, and they're trying to show off, and I'm like, you're not. So then I'm just going to have to pretend that I'm enjoying it.
Oh no, are you a faker?
Sometimes, yeah. But sometimes I'll just say, it's not going to happen, let's just leave it. Like, I'm bored now, I've had enough. It's not going to happen.
Okay.
So let's just leave it.
Do you vaginally orgasm or clitorally?
Clitorally.
Okay, so if there's not stimulation going off there, there's no...
No.
You need to stop.
No.
Okay, that's good to know. So good to know for you guys out there, just in case. Future Abbie's boyfriend. So what's an instant turn on for you in the bedroom? What do they need to do to get there?
Need to be like touched a lot.
Foreplay.
And kissed, and a lot of foreplay. Yeah. I hate when they literally just kiss you once and then they just go right straight in, and I'm like, what? Seriously, what are you doing?
No. I think this is where men lack the education, because for a man to get turned on, it takes like 6 to 8 minutes. For a woman to get turned on, it takes 12 to 18.
I feel like it's a long time for me. Yeah. Like, it takes a while. I need a lot of build-up. I need a lot before, like, I feel like I'm ready. Okay,
so they must build up the tension first.
Build up the tension, yeah. Tease
Fair
me.
Enough. Yeah, tease me. Tease me, kiss me, love me. Right, I don't know if you're going to answer this question.
Oh God, go on.
Who's the most famous person you've ever had sex with? Name drop.
I'd probably say like someone on Geordie Shores. But maybe not now, but back then they were seen as like
the proper stars,
the dog's bollocks, which they were back in the day. I'm actually really embarrassed to say this because
I know who you're gonna say.
It was so embarrassing, but that's the only person I think of. I've not really been with anyone else that's not been in like the reality TV. It's like, you know, we've got Zed Lister, and we're like.
Would you class yourself as a Z?
No, he's the alphabet, he's the Z, and I'm like under there. Like, I'm the Z Lister of the Z Lister. That's what I look at myself.
You're not. You're a celebrity in all my eyes.
Oh,
thanks. All my eyes.
But yeah, that's who I would probably say. Maybe say not now. Oh, did I not say Scotty T?
We were like...
Maybe not now, but back then, he was like...
What is he even doing nowadays? I don't see
He's
much
on
of him.
OnlyFans.
Oh, is it?
He actually messaged me the other day, and then he was like, "Hiya, Abbie," and I was just like, "Well, what does he want?"
An OnlyFans collab.
Oh God, no.
Really?
No, I've seen the videos. They all got leaked.
Oh, okay.
And it was...
I mean, good for you, Scotty. You earned that bread. No shame here.
No,
absolutely zero shame.
We're all on it.
Yeah. Who's the most famous person you've ever received a DM of? We're laughing because we've already discussed this question.
Do you know when I answer these, I think, fuck me, I actually need to get myself out there a bit more because these answers are really bad. They're not like...
They're not the greatest.
No, they're not the greatest. I honestly, I'd probably say Lee Ryan. Is he from Blue?
Blue.
Not Blue, I thought you told me.
And then he went on, it was Blue, and then he went on Big Brother, didn't he?
Did he?
The blonde one.
Yeah.
Because at first we were struggling to figure out whether it was one that was already married and had children.
Or one who was gay.
Yeah. But then it turned out to actually be the single one.
Yeah.
I think he's single. If you're not.
And he actually said like a really embarrassing thing. I can't even remember what it was, but you know, like a really cheesy line.
Did you reply?
I can't remember.
Clearly not.
I don't think I did. No.
Oh, great. Who's your least favourite cast member on Geordie Shore?
Current or anyone that's been on it.
Go for it. We're coming to do current and previous.
I'll probably say Sam Gowland.
Interesting. Do you want to share a bit of reason why?
I just think so many people in the reality TV game, they kind of let things get to the head. They think that they're better than everyone else. They get a bit of money. They really show off. And I think, obviously, we're from the same town, so I knew him before the show. And he kind of just got to this point of fame where he thought he was invincible. And so many things that he did off camera that I really didn't agree with. And we would argue over it, but it didn't get shown. And he just got to the point where he just thinks he's unreal. Like
he's not on the show anymore, is he?
No, he got let go from the show because of things that had happened with him and Chloe. And I just don't like people who boast and think that they're better than everyone else. Like, I'd like to think of myself as, I like to show my successes and my achievements, but I don't like to push it in people's faces and I don't show off. I think I'm better than anyone else.
Humble person I've ever met, and I've met a lot of people off TV, especially reality TV. And we went to one of the beach clubs when Abbie first got here, and I was like, I couldn't wait to see who approached her and who brought up Geordie Shore. So we sat there and we're drinking and blah, 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 and then a couple of guys...
really enjoyed the happy hour, didn't we?
And then a couple of guys came over and they were sat talking to us. And he was like, what do you do for work? So I'm telling them what I do. And then they went, what do you do for work?
But he knew.
He knew straight away. And he tried to play it off like he didn't, which is cute in a way. That he tried to be like, but Abbie was like, I own a fashion brand.
I never ever say it. Whenever people ask me, I go through the full list of everything that I do because I do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And my fingers, what's the fingers in a lot of pies?
Yeah.
So, like, I'll always list everything off and then say the TV is the last one.
But I love that about you because you can see their face like, wait, shit, have I got the wrong person?
And they're thinking, is that it? Is that it? Do you know what everyone always says to me? Everyone always goes, God, I can't believe how much better you are in real life than you are on TV.
Yeah,
than you are on TV.
Cranky.
I look rotten. I look rotten on TV.
You look gorgeous on TV, but you are 10 times better in person.
Yeah.
I will vouch for that.
Thank you. I think I'd rather that, to be honest.
Yeah, but you know what? The last season you were banging.
I did have a bit of a glow off.
Season.
I did have a bit of a glow
Yeah.
off.
So a couple of questions regarding payment. You might not want to say it, but people want to know.
Yeah.
What's the most you've ever been paid through Geordie Shore?
Through Geordie Shore? I'm not on the lowest, but I'm not on the highest. There's people that are lower than me.
Very humble answer. Love that. Who's the rudest celebrity that you've ever met and why? Sam Gowland.
Sam Gowland. Actually, I went to a party. I think Charlotte had a big party for a show at a house and loads of people came. There was like a big red carpet and everything. And I always remember Georgia Steele was there.
Who?
Georgia Steele.
This is how bad I am.
She was on Love Island.
Oh, I'm Loyal Babe.
Yeah, and she's just been on the All Stars. Like, bless her, she did get a lot of stick on this series. But I remember this was a couple of years ago now, and she kind of like pretended that she didn't know who any of us were. Like, especially Holly. I always remember Holly.
Really?
She was a bit like snubby, and you know when she was just walking around and she was like, "Can you put your phones down, please?"
Thinking that you were taking a
Thinking
picture?
that we were like taking side photos, and I was like, "Hon," I was like, "Do you think I'm gonna really be videoing you?" Like, no.
No way.
Yeah, it's just like.
So she's exactly as she comes across on TV.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Now we've got through those questions, we're going to come back to a few more saucy, sexy questions. But I do want to talk about business.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about Festigal and how it came about, you being a full-blown entrepreneur, businesswoman, and giving advice to people. So how did Festigal start?
So when I was in Geordie, I was like, right, I want to do what the others are doing. And, you know, everyone was really successful and had their own businesses. And I feel like each individual person kind of had their own lane and had their own passion. And, you know, people would go and doing different things.
Yeah.
And I always remember my agent came to me and he was like, right, we're going to do a fashion brand with you. We're going to do like another Boohoo or another Pretty Little Thing. Amazing. And I just sat there and I was like, I do want to do that because I love fashion. Like, clothes is just, I love it. But I was like,
you saw how many suitcases Abbie brought with her to Bali,
I've got loads,
and the amount of clothes, you could open a full-blown store.
There's no need. There's absolutely no need. I won't even wear half of it. We're the same thing every day. And I just said to him, I was like, look, I said, it's too done. Like, everyone's doing that. I was like,
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
a
want to
bit
sell, like, the same
saturated.
things. And I was like, I love festivals. Obviously, if anyone knows me, I'm a raver. I love me festivals, love me raves. So I was like, I want to do a festival clothing brand because that's what I wear. I'm going to sell what I wear.
Yeah.
So we started it.
So that's where the name came from.
So we're actually in the wholesalers. There's a wholesalers in Manchester, and we were looking around, and I was just like, I just don't like any of these clothes. And I was just like, you know, like market stall clothes. And I was like, I don't want to sell this.
Yeah.
And one of the girls who worked for the agent, she was like, I know. She went, you're more of a vesty girl, aren't you? And I was just like,
That's the
Vesty
name.
Girl? So that's the name, yeah.
Love that.
So we started it, and I think obviously him as an agent looking at me, I had all these followers, I had all these friends with millions of followers. He was like, right, you know, we're going to build this brand up.
Yeah.
What he would have had to pay to get that kind of advertising would have been a lot. So he's like, yeah, we'll go 50-50. And I was putting so much work into it, you know, getting...
No.
And I think he just took advantage of a little naive girl that just wanted a fashion brand.
And it's selling for him because you did all the legwork.
Yeah, so he ended up threatening me, and
oh my God.
my dad was like, just start up a new brand, start up something else, you know, just leave it. And I was like, no, but Festy Girl is my name, it's my brand, I'm not leaving it.
Yeah.
I've put all this hard work into it. So he ended up saying, I'm going to take it to court. So I said, do you know what? I went, if you're really that tight over your $6,000, I said, have it. Have your $6,000, send everything to me, I'll take over. So sent him the money. Back then, I wish I hadn't, because I probably could have fought it.
Yeah.
But
if you were 50-50, by all means, you could have fought it.
But none of it was in my name. He told me that it was, but it wasn't.
Okay.
I maybe could have fought it, but I think I was just like, do you know what? It was such a really stressful time for me. I was like, let's just leave it. So then I ended up just running it myself.
So he handed it over once you paid up the...
Paid him, transferred everything into my name, sent me everything over. I literally drove to the office. All my stock was in his office. It was a bit awkward. Picked up all the stock, put it in the back of my car. I was like, see ya!
See ya!
I just didn't have a clue what I was doing. I just absolutely winged it.
You know what? That is so important to highlight, though, because one thing I want to be big on is starting a new brand. And everybody knows my past and where I've come from and St. Moritz and everything. But no one actually knows how hard it is to start and the fuck-ups that you make as you are going.
I've lost thousands.
Oh my God, same. Like, and having to change my brand name for Sex Aphrodite to saeitbaby.
Yeah.
Lost so much because I had to stop talking about it because I got blocked on everything.
Yeah.
All the work, all the branding that I'd put in, all of it was pointless.
Yeah.
And no one ever comes online and says, don't do this. Do this, don't do this, I made this mistake, try and avoid this. And I think people need to speak out, especially when you were so young and you had no guidance and people that you thought you were going to get guidance off didn't give you it.
Yeah.
Which is so sad that he took advantage of you
that. But I think all agents do. And
he's no longer your agent.
He's no longer my agent, no. Yeah, but I think when you are so passionate about it, like everyone around me said to me, don't do it, just leave it. And I was like, no, this is my baby. Like, this is what I want to do. I was like, I'm not letting it go because I've put all this hard work into it. And I was like, that made me even more determined for it to be successful because I wanted them to look at me and be like, they probably thought she's not going to be able to do that on her own.
It'll flop.
Yeah.
And look at you now.
I know.
We literally shot Abbie's new collection in Bali the other day. And it is banging. Like, I'm stealing every single fit. Like, it is... And it's for every body shape. Everything that you put on, I thought, oh my God, that would be so flattering on any body shape.
Yeah.
So do you design them?
Some of them I design and some of them I just buy in from wholesale.
So it's stock.
Yeah. I've done loads of different things where I've kind of designed a whole collection,
Yeah.
didn't do as well.
Yeah.
You know, I've designed some that has done well.
Yeah.
It is a lot easier to buy in, to design your own. It's a lot of money, especially when
I can imagine.
it's all the money that I'm putting in myself. So everything's a risk because
Yeah.
I don't have an investor, I don't have anyone. It's just all my money that I've earned from TV,
Yeah.
from anything else will go into the brand. And it is a risk because I'm like, God, if this collection doesn't sell, then I'm just
Absolutely.
lost the money. But some do
So-
better than others.
What would you say to somebody that wants to start out their own business in fashion?
I think you've got to really have a passion for it. If it's something that you're doing just for the money,
Yeah.
then it's probably not going to do as well.
I agree.
I think you've got to enjoy doing it. Like, I live for choosing the stock.
Yeah.
I live for literally searching, like finding the nicest things that I love, and I'll get so excited when it comes in the post and I try it on and I'm like,
yeah.
oh my God, this is amazing. I'm like, I'm going to wear this in Ibiza. The girls are going to wear this to like Ocean Beach, and like
Yeah.
that's what I love doing. And then
Yeah.
actually taking it from that first sample being delivered to then shooting it to then putting it out there to then seeing people in it and seeing people order it.
That has
It's
got
the
to be
best
one of the best feelings,
It
seeing
is.
somebody in your outfits that you've worked so hard on.
Yeah, because I remember I'd go to festivals and I'd like be walking around, I'd be like, oh my God, that's Festive Girl. And I had to go over and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm just going to have to get a photo with
As
you because
you
I'm so
should.
buzzing.
Passion is the number one
Yeah.
goal. Okay, a little bit more about TV.
Okay.
What made you want to go into TV so young? Because when did you start in Geordie Shore?
19.
That is so young, Abbie.
19, I know.
And how did it come about? How did you even get on TV?
Do you know, I don't think a lot of people know this, but before I did Geordie Shore, I actually had an interview for Love Island. Not a lot of people know that. I don't think I've ever said that before. Yeah, I had an interview for Love Island and I was 18.
Oh my
I was so young,
God.
but I think back then it probably would only been
Must have been one of
series
the
1 or
first.
2 for Love Island.
Wow.
But I didn't get past the interview stage. But I'm so glad I didn't, and I didn't go down that route. Like, that was meant to be. But I worked in a call centre for student finance,
Yeah.
and I actually was quite good at my job, but I hated it.
Yeah.
And I always remember I was sat at my desk, and back then it was Facebook. Facebook was the
Oh my God, it was thing.
the big thing. I think Instagram had just came around. You know, it wasn't really like
No one understood it.
Yeah, no one really
Yeah.
got it. Everyone was like, "Who just wants to post photos? Like, we want to write
We wanna talk
statuses,
shit.
and to write about slag people off, and write statuses about people, and check in places." And it was a Geordie Shore casting page. So back then they used to have this Facebook casting page. They obviously just do a full outreach and message everyone that they thought.
Yeah.
So I had this message, and I remember I was sat at work, and it was like, "Do you want to have an interview for Geordie Shore?" And I was like, "Oh my God, yeah." Funny story as well. I actually used to watch Geordie Shore with my dad and my stepmom. Back in the day, you can imagine what it was like. But I think we've always just had that relationship where every Tuesday we would sit and watch it,
Yeah.
and we loved it. And
I don't know one person that wasn't a Geordie Shore fan.
no, and if you say you're not, you're lying.
You're a liar, because especially up north, we love the bands.
Everybody
No one
watched
gets it
it.
like us.
I mean, it's been going for 12 years now. 12 years.
crazy.
So I think I was in secondary school when it first started. So
Yeah, I think I was.
had the interview. It was a big interview process back then. I had to go meet the producers
Yeah.
in a room just like this with a camera, and they would ask me questions. And I always remember I went in the toilet first of the hotel, necked some vodka for some Dutch courage. Can't remember what I said. Obviously it worked well. And then there was the next stage, and then I went and met more producers, the higher big bosses of MTV. And then the third round, they put you in a room in a club with like loads of other people, and all the top bosses were just sat there watching you have a night out. So I walked in and I was like, what can I do like to get their attention? What can I do?
What did you do?
I next full bottle of wine and I next on with a girl.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Well done.
I'm not even like, I'm not even bi, but I just thought I'm just going to do anything.
Yeah.
I was just absolutely running rampage in this bar, and then one of the producers, like, I was so drunk, actually had to like take me out and put me in the car home because I was like, oh.
Oh my God. So they were like, she's the one.
Yeah.
And then they called you, and then you were on the next series.
So then I had one final meeting with the top producers, and they were just asking me things about like the trolling and just saying, you know, how are you going to cope with all this? And I was just like, I'll be fine. And and then went into the series. But actually, I don't think a lot of people know, but the series that I went on was called the Raji Rampage.
I didn't know they had names.
Yeah, all the series have different names. So I went in and I was thinking, right, that's it. Like, I'm in here now. Like, I'm a permanent cast member.
Yeah.
And I was the first one that ever walked in the house. And then more and more people kept walking in, And in total, there was about 9 new people. And I was just thinking, like, this isn't how the show goes. Like, what's going on? And the next thing, Anna, who was, like, the boss back in the day.
Yes.
She comes in and she's like, basically not all of you are going to be staying, you're going to be fighting for your place.
Oh my God, the pressure.
And some people had left the work, like fully left the jobs because they thought they were on the show. I just said, I need annual leave. I didn't even tell them what I was doing. And like that series was hard. I think now with all the welfare and how TV's changed, they would never be allowed to do what they did back then to us because it was torture.
Are you allowed to share some secrets?
Go on then, I can share some secrets.
Go on then. What's the worst thing you've experienced in TV when there was no welfare team?
Just like, without them saying that they want you to do stuff, but you know
that's
what you're being guided to do. And I think because I was only 20 and in that series I was in such a vulnerable position that I was like, I want my place here. I don't want to go back to my job because this is what I wanted to do. I didn't want to work in a call centre. So I was just like, anything I had to do, I was doing it. Like, I absolutely sold my soul to stay.
Which I think is so important, again, to highlight, because we all want to be an influencer. Everybody wants to be on socials. Everyone wants to be on TV because that is the world that we live in. And I don't think people see the dark side to it as well.
No.
When you say sell your soul, because the fact that we're on a sex podcast anyway, were you expected to go that extra mile on TV with people?
Definitely. When I came on the show, it was still very heavily
It was
sex.
all about sex, wasn't it?
Like years ago. It's not now, obviously it's changed, but
Yeah.
when I came on it, Geordie Shores was known for sex, partying, being wild, being crazy. So I am all of those things, but I am still a very shy girl as well, and I am quite timid, and I'm not, especially going into that, I wasn't the loudest girl in the room. Like you put up against these huge personalities that I was like, how can I even compete or even get a word in with these? So yeah, there was definitely back then a pressure that I had to do things.
What changed in the TV industry? When did the welfare team come in?
It was when Caroline Flack died.
Yeah.
And then it was Mike.
It had to be.
Mike
right.
as well. Also, when all that happened, everything changed in TV. We had like this whole welfare team that would come in, and just everything changed. We had psychs that we'd have to speak to. We'd have to go through interviews, and when we were filming, we'd always have someone there if we needed to chat to them. They'd always be like, right, we need to speak to you. We need to make sure you're okay.
Right.
Before we could just drink my eyelash just stuck to my bottom lash. We could just go into a club and I would literally just neck a bottle of vodka and I'd pass out. I'd fall asleep in the club. Everyone could just drink what they wanted. It was a free-for-all. Where then, when all that happened, all of our drinks were tallied. We weren't allowed any drink. We couldn't even pour our own drink. We'd actually have a crew member that was just there that would pour a drink for us, making sure the measurements. Because you think when you're in a club and you're pouring your own drink, the vodka's like this, it's half, and then that much a mixer.
Yeah.
So we were like this.
Oh my God.
So, and then they'd actually have a tally chart, like, right, Abbie's had 4 vodkas, she's too drunk, she can't have any more, and you'd actually get told that you're not allowed.
So when you said then, when you were speaking about it, they said to you, how are you going to deal with the trolls? And I've seen some of the abuse that you got, and it is horrific.
Yeah.
How did you deal with the trolls? How did you overcome that? Because you are a confident person, or you come across very confident.
I literally just fake it.
Do you?
Yeah.
Fake it until you make it.
When I look back, my earlier 20s, I don't even think I really did deal with it. Like, I didn't know how to deal with it. And I think when I was at home, all of me, like, family didn't know how to deal with it as well. So it was awful. And it really, really shattered my confidence to the point where I got so much work done because I was so self-conscious.
You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah.
Oh, baby. Oh, darling. Okay.
Just because I never speak about it, but yeah.
What were some of the worst things that people said?
I don't even think it's more like what people said. I mean, it was, but then it was kind of just actually watching yourself and picking yourself out, and people just saying things and just commenting on every single thing and just being.
It is soul destroying, and it's one thing leads to another thing leads to another thing, and we are our own worst critics, and it's a massive impact of what other people say to you that affects.
Yeah,
everything.
I think, I got so much work done because I was like, I just wanted to change myself. Like, I hated myself.
You are the most beautiful soul, darling. Oh, I'm sorry I've made you
it's
cry.
Alright. I think, but I've only really felt like really confident in myself probably, I'd say, the last year and a half. And I think when I say it to people probably look at my Instagram and think, she's so confident, but you got to think how much editing, how many photos have been took before you post that, what you do to it. But like, I'm in a good place now. Like, I'm probably in the best place, and I'm proud of like how far I've come, because I think I just think being so young and put into that was just like,
that is intense for anyone, and you're like a sponge when you're younger. Everything that everybody says you take on board, because we don't know how to bat it off.
Yeah, and it still happens now. Like, I still go through the same things. I'll still get people saying nasty stuff, and you know, I'll look at myself and I think, oh God, I don't look great on there. But I just think, well, I know how to deal with it now. I've got to the point where I can.
So what would you say, advice-wise? How did you learn to deal with it?
I think just speaking about it, and actually, because I never really did before.
Do you call out the trolls? Do you?
No, never.
Do you just block?
Because I've done it before where I've called them out, and they end up getting more nasty, or you end up getting in an argument, and you're just never going to win against a troll. You're never ever going to win. So
it's wasted energy. Isn't
it?
Like
when I see stuff now, I literally just block straight away, because I think they want that reaction out of you. That's what they want. They're trying to get your attention.
Yeah.
So
talking about plastic surgery, say that was something that influenced you wanting to change things about yourself, which we've all done.
Oh yeah.
Are you happy to talk about what work you've got done?
Yeah, definitely.
Tell us.
I've had my boobs done twice. A little bit of lipo on me in the thigh.
Have you?
Yeah, just because when I had my second boob job, I had such a big gap.
Yeah.
He was like, we're going to take a little bit of fat out your thigh and put it in the inner bit to help the gap. But surgery-wise, that's all I've had. It was mainly more messing around with filler that really messed everything up. I had so much jaw filler just because everyone else around me was getting jaw filler. I didn't even really know what it did, but I was like, I'm getting it.
Yeah.
And because back then everything was offered to you for free.
Yeah.
Everything. So I was like, get it in. So I had all this jaw filler, and then because you look at yourself every day, you don't really see it. No. And then I always remember I looked back I was at an award show, the MTV Awards, and I looked at the pat photo and I was like, oh my God, I look like SpongeBob SquarePants. I had the biggest square jaw, like my face looked huge. I didn't even recognise myself, but it wasn't until I'd seen a photo looking at yourself every day in the mirror. I remember I had filler under my eyes.
So did you get it dissolved then?
Yeah, I had filler under my eyes, and I think obviously they did it wrong, and I had like this big black eye. I had to get all that dissolved.
See, there's so much fear around it as well when we're going to people that don't actually know what they're doing. And I think there's a lot, and I'm sorry to call out the industry. I'm very fortunate because my best friend does all my aesthetics, and she's a trained nurse and qualified. But I went to somewhere in Manchester because she was offering it dirt cheap.
Yeah.
And she filled my lip line, like the actual waterline in my lip. So now I have like a wrinkly labia that if I ever wanted my lips dissolved, like it'd drop below and it'd look like I literally had a vagina on my mouth.
Oh my God.
Like it would, and my friends have tried going around it and working it, but that one cheap shit decision that I made has affected my lips now, so I can never ever have them dissolved. So I'm stuck with big lips forever, and I know that the trend will come back where it's thin lips only, and I will not be able to fill that trend.
I think what they do is as awful it is, they prey on the young and the vulnerable.
Yes.
Because when I was first starting to get all my treatments done, I couldn't afford to get them done.
Yeah.
And I was having endless amount of plastic surgery offered to me, all constant Instagram DMs,
Really?
loads of different, I still get it now, loads of practitioners all the time would love to give you anything you want. But I think now I'm at the point where I'm not desperate for it. I don't need it.
Yeah.
I go to a doctor who I know
Yeah.
that's going to do it right for me.
Yeah.
But back then, being on that show and being around all the other girls that had like this perfect figure, they were all had the teeth done, they all had the filler, and I came in 19-year-old, didn't have anything done, and I felt so out of place. So when all these people were coming to me like, we'll offer you this, I was like, yeah, I'll get it all, and not realising really what that they literally probably did a 1-day course, and I was the guinea pig.
We were guinea pigs to everyone in the train. God damn, we were prey. For anybody wanting to go out and get work done, what would you say are the number one rules that they have to think first before they go and get it?
I'd honestly make sure that you go to an actual doctor or a nurse, not someone that just does lip filler in the back of someone's salon in a room.
Yes.
Make sure that they're actually qualified, how long they've been doing it for.
Yeah.
Even like I've had family members and friends, and like I always remember like my stepmom will go, oh, I say, go to my doctor for your lips done. They're like, oh, it's expensive. I'm like, I know, but it's worth it. Like, it's your face.
My dad always says, if you pay cheap, you pay twice.
Yeah.
And I have suffered that law forever.
And I'm like, it's your face, though. It's not like
Yeah.
it's just, you know, you're going to buy a cheap handbag and you can buy another one if it goes to shit.
And so many of these aesthetic practitioners don't know how to reverse something.
Yeah.
Which I didn't actually realise because filler, you can go into a vein and completely shut down the vein. And if there's no blood flow coming back to it, and it's not dealt with immediately.
No.
I can't remember the name, and Katie's going to kill me for this, but she tells me every time. Katie, my friend, Katie LM Aesthetics, you're welcome, Kate. She knows how to reverse it, and if she doesn't, she has a 999 call number that they come within minutes and they dissolve it immediately for you, so you don't have prolonged effects from it.
Yeah.
And I think that is so important, because we are so easily influenced, and I love a bargain. If somebody offered me something for a penny and something for £1, I'd go for the penny, even though I can afford the pound.
Yeah.
Just because I'm a saver, I'm a northerner, we like to save, we love a deal.
And we know how cheap we can get stuff up north, so we're just like...
So when it comes to online abuse and the trolling and things that you got, have you ever experienced that within men and relationships? Have you ever been in, say, an abusive relationship, a controlling relationship, anything of the sort?
My first boyfriend, my first love, I think it was really hard because he went to prison.
Right.
And it was like...
Whilst you were together?
Whilst we were together, yeah. So I think that was really hard, and it was trying to like manage everything. And I think him being in prison and me being on this show and being in the limelight, and I think he found that really hard to deal with. So I don't think he was kind of had those controlling things on purpose. I think it was just because of the situation.
And so did it get a bit controlling?
Yeah, and I think it got to the point where when he came out, because I'd waited for him for so long, I was like, we've got to give, I want to give this a go, I want to be with you, it's got to work. And I think I just kind of knew that it wasn't right, and it got to the point where, when I couldn't even go on a night out with my friends anymore, he'd have to be there.
Yeah.
He'd have to be there, like we'd be out at a party and I caught him like checking my phone, and it was just... I was just like
the paranoia.
Yeah.
You've got to dip. I think when it comes to relationships, we can be so codependent on something working because we, as women, we fantasize relationships.
I'm a big fantasizer.
I saw
Is that a word? Fantasizer?
Fantasizer.
Fantasizer, I don't think
that's
it
a
is.
sex toy.
Oh.
But I saw something on TikTok the other day, and it said how men date up from 0. So they rank a woman at 0, and then she gains points by things that she does right. We date from ranking them from 100, and then we're like, oh no, I don't like that, they come down. Oh no, I don't like that they've done that.
Yeah.
So we completely date opposite. And when I saw it, I thought that makes so much sense.
Yeah, it does. We put them on the pedestal without even
God.
knowing their personality and what they're like.
They are the best person. I'm going to marry them. I'm going to have 3 kids with them. I know where we're going to live. I know what his wedding dress is going to be like. We do every fantasy in our head.
Yeah, I do that
instead
really
of
bad.
actually seeing the reality of it.
Yeah. And with my second boyfriend, like that was the real heartbreak one. That was a bad one. I think we'd only been together for 5 months, but like we said before, it doesn't really matter how long. And I think
when I look, Emmy said to us, let's just tell people.
What did she say?
Apparently, when you are going through a breakup, now we don't know whether this is legit or not, but when you go through a breakup, you hurt 1 week for every month that you were together. So we were like, shit.
How long is this going to take?
How long is this going to take? And trying to like girl math it, like, okay, we've been together for 4 months. Okay, it's going to hurt for 4 weeks. Okay, we can do that.
Yeah.
And that is apparently a thing. So if you're going through a long breakup and you've been
work out how many weeks you're on, how long you've got left.
And if you need any help, reach out and we'll help you. So go on, tell us about your heartbreak relationship and what went down.
I think from my first boyfriend, I was single for 3 years, which is a long time.
Yeah.
Like I'd been dating, you know, I'd been seeing a few people, you know, flings, nothing was ever serious with anyone. And I think I met my ex and I was head over heels, like besotted. And do you know what I think it was? I think the people that I dated in the past, they always wanted the cake and to eat it. They never chose me, they never wanted me. There was always other girls, there was always other things. They never wanted to commit.
Yeah.
Where when I met my ex, he was actually having someone that was all for me and that actually seen my like value, and I was like, oh my god, this person wants me, this person can see that I'm actually like amazing. And that to me, I was like, oh my god, that's crazy. And I was just besotted. I was head over heels. And then everything was amazing. And I think now when I look back at it, I was like, God, I was so love bombed. Like really love bombed. But I'd never had that before, ever in previous relationships. I'd never really had the love bombing. So I just thought, God, we're in a whirlwind. We're so in love. This is amazing. When I look back, I think, God, really
so
love bombed.
Love bombing, for people that might not know the actual term, is where somebody is all in so fast they can't do enough right. They never put a foot wrong.
Very complimentary.
They big you up to be this, and you're so used to
it's like
feeling
this high, isn't it? You get this high.
The dopamine hit that you get from them giving you so much validation that they set themselves on a level. So you see how they could be, and then slowly but surely they start pulling back.
They'll take it away and they'll take it away.
And all you feel is because you've seen how they have managed to be with you before, you think, well, they'll always be like that because that's them.
Yeah, that's them,
when
but it's
that's not. That's how they lure you into a false sense of security and completely take it away. And it is soul destroying. When I say like the emotions you go through when you've been love bombed, I mean, it's happened to me in previous relationships, and you're scarred from it forever then. You're so scared that is anyone ever truthful anymore?
Like since we'd split up and kind of, I think, well, like we said, it took me about 3 months to maybe fully get over it. Yeah, on the girl math. The weekly chat was about 3 months. Any then person that I spoke to afterwards, anyone that was, you know, speaking to me, that would either message me, that I would meet, if they give me a compliment, if they were being nice to me, I'd be like, stop trying to love for me, stop trying to love for me. In my head, I was just like, I don't trust anyone, I don't know anyone's true intentions. And I think with the job that I am in as well, I already had that anyway of people's intentions genuine, because people, I think even with me, both of my ex-partners, they get in and they get a sense of your life and the great things that you do, and they like it, and they want that as well.
They want a piece of the pie.
Yeah, and it's like, no, it's my life. But I think because I'm so given, like with both my ex-partners, I was like, I've got us this free holiday, I've got us this free hotel, I've got us this free meal, and they're like, oh my god, we've got this free, we've got this free, and I'm give because I wanted someone to do that with.
The biggest givers are the ones that actually just want someone to turn around and do it back for them.
And he never did.
And they never do. And
No.
that's so sad, because it's that validation again that we're searching for in other people that we can give ourselves, but we also want to enjoy it with somebody else, and they do take advantage of that.
And I think it got past the 3-4 month when it started to go down, and I think his true colours started to show, but I was like, who is this person? This isn't the person that I first met. But actually, the person that he's showing me now is him.
Yeah.
The person in the beginning was...
You always put your best foot forward. Everyone does in a relationship. And people do say, wait till the 3-month mark. Wait till the 3-month mark, because you can only fake it for 3 months.
Yeah, and do you know that our first ever argument actually led in the breakup? That was our first argument, and we split up.
Really?
Yeah.
See, that's a big one to highlight, because every relationship is going to have its ups and downs.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone can thrive in the highs and the happiness and the love, and when you're on such a good feeling with your boyfriend or your partner, and no one can knock you off that pedestal. But then when one little argument happens, that's when it matters most, because it's how you communicate.
How are you going to work through it?
How are you going to work through it? How are you going to overcome it, and what you learn from it?
Yeah, I think it's not healthy to argue, but it is in a certain sense, because then that's when you're going to get to know the person. You're going to get to know how they deal with things. You're going to get to know the emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
And I think I have got a really anxious attachment style, and he was an avoidant.
Yeah.
And all these things I didn't have a clue about, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I tell you, TikTok is very educational, because
when it's the correct education.
when it's the correct one, because when I was going through the breakup, my whole TikTok algorithm, you know, when you watch one video and the same follow, I was having tarot readings going, he's going to message, he's going to come back to you.
Why do we live our life through tarot readings?
So then for the whole month, I was just like, he's going to come back, he's going to come back, he's going to want me back. I'm checking my phone, I'm thinking, this fucking tarot reading is a lot of shit, it's not working. So, but then I started to really me focus on that, and I believed it. And then when it wasn't happening, I was even more heartbroken than I was.
Because we're living in that pain period. We're not actually doing things to overcome it. And this is the toxic side of social media, because it's preying
and it's false
on the vulnerable.
Information as well. But then there was a positive to it, because I did learn a lot. I learned about the love bombing, breadcrumbing, the gaslighting, the order that it comes in. I learned that I am a really anxious, attachment, and he was an avoidant, and we're all different, and it doesn't matter which one you are if you both recognise it and you actually work towards it. And I think what I've realised is I do need a lot of reassurance in a relationship. I need a lot of words and reassurance. Yeah. And because I wasn't getting that. Yeah. Then it didn't
Absolutely.
work.
You need to know what love styles you are, for sure. That's one thing I say to clients. Do you understand what your love type is and how you communicate? And if it's completely different, that's okay, but you have got to learn what works for one another. So it kind of leads me on to my next question about celibacy and abstinence. Now, I'm trying to get Abbie to join our free 30-day challenge, which you have said you're going to try and do.
Yeah.
Do you know what acts of celibacy or abstinence is? What is celibacy to you? If somebody said, I'm going to go celibate, what does it mean to you?
I'd probably say, no sex, no intimacy of any
Okay,
kind.
so celibacy can be different to anyone.
Right.
So it's different rules fit different narratives. So when people start this 30-day celibacy challenge, I'll be setting out a stall where I say, right, what do you want to do and what do you not want to do? The one thing you cannot do is have sex.
Right.
So you can't.
What about flirt? Can you have a bit of a flirt?
Yes, as long as that self-discipline means.
But then that leads to
and I don't know whether you can do that bit. So the whole purpose behind it is to make sure that your mind is attached to your body. So, going back to us speaking about faking it for the other and making sure they're happy, or just thinking, I'm just going to fake it and then it's over and done with. Your mind is so far away from your body and the receptors that your brain is sending to us intimately that you need to zone into it more. So it comes from I worked with loads of different healers, and because of my sex addiction, they were like, you need to go celibate, because it got to the point where I thought my vagina was broken. I was like, it's
going to fall off.
It's going to set on fire. I'm holding this vibrator on me that hard, that because I had no sensation. My sensation had gone so low because I'd over abused it. And I was
That must have been a lot then.
Oh my God, a lot.
Fucking hell.
Talk about it on previous podcasts, but it got to the point where I was sat in a business meeting and I'd be thinking, I can't concentrate, I need to go and masturbate. And I'd just go to the toilet and
that is
knock them
crazy.
out.
Is it actually better though to fully just go, you know, like I'm gonna, you know, like when someone's a smoker and they say like, don't just go cold turkey because it'll send you even worse. Try and like.
As long as you have the tools, so like they'll give you different things, they'll give you nicotine patches, they'll give you different rules to follow that try and help you, and different tools to make sure that you don't go back to a cigarette. And it's the same with sex. Now, I want people to try acts of celibacy to bring back intimacy, because I lack intimacy and emotional connection because I just cut myself off because I've been hurt so much over the past and different abusive situations sexually that made me close off and think, well, if I don't feel anything whilst this is happening, then I can just cut it out. So it's so important for relationships, even couples that are together, to take different acts of abstinence. So it's something that you get such great pleasure from. It could be drugs, for instance. It's anything that gives you a high dopamine hit. To think, I'm not going to do that. And discipline is the highest form of self-love anyone can give themselves. And everyone's like, oh, you've got to be disciplined, you've got to be disciplined. But no one actually gives you reasons why it's going to help. The mental health things that it helps with, the body dysmorphia that it helps with, the way that we intellectualize how other people treat us, which affects how we treat them as well. It's a full cycle. And actually going within yourself and working on yourself is so beneficial when it comes to celibacy and acts of abstinence. So in this 30-day challenge, there's going to be trackers, there's going to be motivations, there's going to be things that make you...
Do you know what I thought you meant when you said trackers?
I'm not going to track where you're going. I'm going to track... I remember like, Abbie's gone to Finn's. Nope, she's got to come home.
Turn my location over before I'm at home.
There's not going to be trackers that track where you're going. You can go anywhere you want. But there's going to be trackers to help boost you along the 30-day journey. Now, 30 days celibate is not going to change how you view sex forever. It's a beginner and it's a reach-in. So 30 days is just giving you an idea. But I was celibate for 8 months. So to go from having sex every single day and masturbating 3 times a day to going celibate, that was like, I'd been single and celibate for 15 years. I felt like I was a born-again virgin.
Really?
But honestly, the feelings you'll get at the end of it is literally like you're a born-again virgin and you're so protective of who comes into your energy. Because have you heard of energy transfer?
I think so.
So it's sexual transfer. So energy transfer is when... This is a sacred area for us, and we're allowing somebody to penetrate our insides. Like that is, you couldn't get any closer to our heart, our soul, all of our chakras. So I sound like such a hippie every time I talk about it because I'm like, oh God, here she goes again. But this is honestly how I overcame my addiction. Energy transfer is if somebody is depressed or down or upset about a situation, they are releasing a part of their DNA inside of us. Whether that's skin contact, whether that's anything. So you know when they say one bad apple in a bowl of good apples will turn all the apples bad. It's the same when we keep letting people into our energy that have either suffered depression, suffered abuse, suffered anything and not dealt with it. They are putting a part of that into you and we carry that around in trauma in our own bodies. So what we're doing is, by doing these acts, is stopping the root cause. So we're learning intimacy and what gets each other off by not actually physically touching. And it sounds like it would be super hard, but once you get over that stint of, no, you know what, I'm going to protect my own energy, you will find so much benefit. So are you going to do the celibacy challenge?
I'm going to do it.
For the full 30 days?
When can I start?
It starts on the 1st of March.
Oh, right, okay. So I've got a couple of days.
So today, go loose. Okay, so we're going to ask Abbie the fire round questions, which we ask everybody when they come onto an interview with SAE. So you've got to say the first things that come into your head, right? So it's going to be the most rawest fire round.
Right, okay.
What's your type in 3 words?
Tanned, tall, teeth.
The 3 T's, I knew that was coming.
3 teeth.
What could he do better in the bedroom?
Know where the clit is.
Facts. Everyone needs to learn where it is.
It's not that hard.
3 icks for you in a partner.
Arrogance.
Mm-hmm.
Bad dress sense. Just being like too cocky, too big-headed.
What's something that you learn way later than you should have?
Narcissists.
Yes. What would you say your best move is in the bedroom?
I can really grind for a week.
Can you, girl? Grind for a week. What do you eat after sex? What do you crave?
Something like cold, like ice cream.
Really?
Yeah.
Never had that one.
You're just a bit hot. You're just like, oh,
Put in a
something
shake.
nice and refreshing.
Yeah. What would you say to your younger self about sex?
Don't overthink it. Don't stress. Just have fun.
Exactly. Have fun. Would you say you use protection more or less?
Never.
No!
Oh no, that's a lie. I do.
So you don't. Interesting. What position do men think we like, but we don't?
The doggy.
Same!
It hurts.
Same!
It hurts.
Oh my God.
I can't do it.
The banging from behind.
Yeah.
It's not a nice feeling.
It's not enjoyable, no.
No, I totally agree. Totally agree. So what should men do better in the bedroom?
Just take the time. It's not a rush.
Yeah, it's not a rush. Take your time,
just
enjoy
take
it.
your time,
Let's have fun.
Yeah.
Lights on, lights off.
Off.
What's too big? You can show us in hand size.
To be honest, I actually can't really have too big.
Yeah. That's quite turn to the camera.
Oh.
Okay, so we're saying a 6-incher. Turn it to me. Jesus Christ, that's more like an 8. No wonder that hurts. What's too small?
Oh, that's small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's okay.
It's small.
They all come in different shapes
yeah,
and sizes.
It's fine.
But what is too small? Okay. Pubic hair, yes or no?
No.
Have you got pubic hair?
No.
All off?
Yeah.
Fully all off?
Yeah, fully all off.
Them as well?
Maybe not fully all off. Like, I don't mind a bit of hair, but not when it's like things can get stuck in when it's getting a bit too long.
Shower sex?
Yeah.
Favourite position?
I just like to be on top.
Do you?
I like a bit in control,
She's a grinder. You got grinding, girlie.
It's just standard me on top because then I can control it.
Love that. Your next partner, what are the 3 must-haves that they must have to be with you?
Just to actually validate my feelings.
Yeah.
Take them into consideration. Even if they don't agree, just to understand it and
Yeah.
accept. Just someone who sees me and actually knows the real me. Because I feel like I kind of put on a bit of a mask in front of a lot of people. So to break them, that can break it down.
That wall.
Oh, they've got to be tan. They've got to be sexy. Come on, they need to be. I'm tall. You get it.
Yeah, tall girls
Height
need
is a bit
tall guy.
Height is a big thing. Yeah.
It makes us feel more feminine.
It does.
Yeah, I
It
need
really
to feel like
does.
you could pick me up and throw me around.
Yeah. There's nothing worse when you're hugging someone and you're just like.
Come here, my baby boy. No, nothing worse.
No.
Abbie, I've absolutely loved having you on. I can't wait for you to join the 30-day challenge.
I've got a couple of days left.
She's got 2 days to go wild.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you so much for being on the podcast.
No, thank you for having
I can't wait
me.
for everyone to watch it.
You know what, I feel like this is the most realest podcast that I've done where I've been really open, but I've loved it.
Thank you so much for being raw and open.
Yeah.
I know you got a bit upset in the middle, but I think that is so insightful for people to actually see how much it affected you.
Yeah, definitely, because I think I got upset because I don't ever speak about it. It's something that that happened so many years ago, but I just locked it and just didn't ever want to deal with it.
Well,
But
we're dealing with it now, baby.
we have.
I'm very proud of you. Thank you so much for being on the show, and we'll see you on the next one.